All right, guys, so let's go through an overview of the exam really quick. What kind of content is in it, what kind of questions to expect in the exam, how long it is, pricing, and all of that good information. Okay, so obviously this is the HashiCorp Certified Terraform Associate exam. Prerequisites, you want to have basic terminal skills and basic understanding of on-premise and cloud infrastructure. You also probably I guess this kind of covers it, but you want to have a fair bit of experience with either AWS, Azure, or GCP before you do this. It's going to cover Terraform 12 and higher. I didn't really get a lot of syntax-based questions for Terraform 11 or Terraform 12, so I don't know if this is something huge to worry about. If you're not super familiar with Terraform 12, I think you'll probably still be okay. In preparing for the exam, they do have a study guide and a review guide. I didn't find them to be the best, but I also don't learn the best by doing a lot of reading. And there was a ton of reading for this. So there's the study guide, and then here's the exam review. I'll put both of these in the resources so that you can get to them pretty easily. The review just covers really a lot of the same documentation that you've probably seen if you've started, reading through or studying at all to learn about Terraform, right? Like even just the commands, format, taint, import, that type of stuff. Okay. All right. So now for exam details. So it's online proctored. You'll have a proctor watching you through your webcam on your computer. Take the exam. You'll have to stay in your room, stay seated, or standing, I guess, whichever one that you're doing. You can't leave the room, and you're not allowed to speak during the exam as well. It is $70.50. It is English, and it expires in 2 years. And then below here we have the exam objectives, which are kind of covered in the exam review a little bit. They just have the documentation associated with each of the objectives. I won't go through all of the objectives, but yeah, let's take a look at the sample questions. So here's the sample questions that give you a better idea of what to expect when you're looking at the test. So they'll have some true or false questions, which will be basic, true or false, you choose one or the other. You'll have multiple choice questions, which will have 4 options, and one of them will be the correct option. You will have multiple answer, in which they'll tell you, how many answers you're going to need to choose, and you'll have to select multiple. So you can see here, they just selected these 2 answers. Okay. There's text match, which will have a little bit of a snippet maybe for a command, right? You can see Terraform plan blank, and it wants to know what you should be putting in this blank. And they're fairly lenient with these questions, it looks like, right? Like it doesn't have to be perfect. So as long as you're close or you do something that will actually run with either like Windows, Linux, or OS X, it's going to accept that. Okay? And then there's a whole list of answers down here that would receive full credit. Even if you went and retyped, right, like the whole thing, they're still okay with that as well. So they're pretty lenient with that. And that's really it for all of the question types. So that's it for just a little bit of an overview of what the exam looks like. Let's start getting into studying and into the meat of the lectures. All right, I'll see you guys in there.